The second example I need to mention has to do with laws and policies that promote food safety standards for the country and the support we need for food exports. This is a sector in which many companies, many farms of young people aspire to be in. Let me give you an example. Between September 2021 and May 2022, just last month, a number of EU countries that are the markets for our food issued what is called interceptions, rejections, and notifications of various Ugandan agricultural products. These include chicken, animal feeds, eggplants, sesame seeds, chilies, fruits and vegetables, and many more. In this, as a country, we have lost about $100 million, or the amount you need to finance 20 government institutions, their budgets, or the amount you need to finance the budgets of 2 regions in our country. That's what we lost, some 370 billion shillings. Now, it is our failure at sanitary and phytosanitary standards that makes our farms uncompetitive on the global market. We have a food safety law that was made in 1964. I was not in the world in 1964, and many of you listening to me, that's like in ancient times. This law was made in 1964, was not changed until 2005 when there were attempts to amend it, but because of jurisdictional and authority battles between ministries of health and agriculture, this law has been kept on our statute books without amendment. Yet food safety standards have changed in the world and in our markets. Food safety standards and laws include plant health, they include animal health, they include your health, human health, they include environmental health, like where we are and we raise production. And these rules and regulations really start from the farm, the type and nature of chemicals that you use, the fertilizers you use, the nature and type of harvesting you do, the transportation standards, the processing standards, the packing standards, the packaging standards, till the food is on the plate of a consumer, you in Uganda or someone in Belgium. Building a functioning national sanitary and phytosanitary standards committee and supporting it to keep the standards that the World Trade Organization or WTO requires of us, this has been an issue for many years for our country. Now, without a food safety law that helps to deal with these interceptions, we are wasting the farmers' time, we are wasting transporters' time and resources, we are wasting processors' time and resources, and eventually we fail our country in the very markets we have fought so hard to get. There are 4 types of interceptions. I really want to use these podcasts to not just inform but educate, so that if you are in the food sector, you can know this and participate in finding solutions. There are 4 types of interceptions we face in the global markets for our food products. The first is called quarantine pests. These are pests such as the Asian fly that attacks fresh mangoes. In my teaching last year, I showed this Asian fly and what it was doing to mangoes at our farm. A mango looks very nice on the outside, but inside you open, there's a fly. The Asian fly, though, is not the same as a lake fly. Lake flies, which you see around, like this Lake Mburo or Lake Victoria, they are not pests, they are not hazardous. A lake fly is harmless. But if our teams in government, in the system, are not organized, the West keeps adding more flies, including those lake flies, as a technical barrier to trade. They add them on top of Asian flies. But if there's no response, more and more interceptions happen. So someone has to respond and use the law to set the difference between a housefly, a lake fly, and an Asian fly, and make a case for Ugandan exporters. The second type, that was number 1, interception source. The second type of interception is based on poor documentation from our Ugandan producers and exporters. Someone has indicated in this batch, in a box, that these are mangoes or they are bananas of a particular species, particular size, but on opening those bananas or mangoes, you find instead they are mixed with avocados. This poor and often deliberate mislabeling, which we think increases our cargo, gives us a very bad name on the market. That's number 2 source of interception. You young people who are in agriculture trying to export, I want you to know. The third one is the matter of viruses and bacteria in our food, such as the virulent potato virus that is pervasive in East Africa, which needs concerted effort and coordination at ESC level to prevent and eventually eradicate those viruses. Those are in some of our exports and they cause interceptions and rejections. The fourth one is the matter of minimum residue levels, or what they call MRLs, in the food we eat and the chemical levels that there are. Now, when I was growing up on these lands, when I was young, we used to open our gardens with hose and we plant beans and maize. Today, I see people simply spraying, often mixed up herbicides, and I have been really concerned. I see people renting out land for seasonal crops in many parts of our country, and those who rent the land want to get maximum value in a very short time and at a low cost. So they simply spray anything in their sight that they don't like, weed or no weeds. The chemicals we use on tomatoes, on cabbages, on pineapples, often a number of those are banned in developed countries. And we do not have a reliable traceability system and processes to confirm confidently that what you are eating, both here and what you're exporting, is certified as good. So both the Food Safety Law, which is a cake, as I said, and the amended Plant Protection Act of 2016, these need to be known and read together by all of us who are in export, who are in agriculture. They need to be combined. They need to be passed. They need to be enforced, because improvement in one gives us benefits in the other for the health of our domestic consumers and our export markets compliance requirements. Now, if we don't handle these matters as emergency matters, these things block trade and they keep businesses of young people hobbled on the ground and locked out of these good markets. Unfortunately, these things I am speaking to you today, they are not things you read in our newspapers every day. You don't find them on the breakfast tables of decision makers. Sadly, our news is some 95% politically inclined, and it doesn't bring home these issues. Yet these are the very issues our decision makers need to focus on in order to grow jobs of young people, because when I sleep over these things, I don't get comfortable. And I normally want to take responsibility wherever life has thrown me. So we have decided in a joint manner with the public and private sector institutions to address these matters. We will try and drive this law. We will consult institutions that are necessary to be consulted, including the caucus, including of the movement and parliament. We ensure that these laws are amended and passed. Let's keep thinking and working and change policies and laws to support enterprises to grow. Have a good weekend and see you here next week.
Would like to hear from you. Please email us at info@tapmedia.com and visit our website at www.tapmedia.com. You can also visit our offices located at Tomosi Business Park, Luzira, Port Bell Road, or call 0414 220 702. Thank you.